Can you tell me what happened in the last hour?
I'm sure. I was given this citation. What happened was we fed probably over 100 people that were hungry and got a citation for feeding people that are hungry.
Organizations that feed people who are homeless are being criminalized for trying to ease food insecurity. The nationwide trend reached Tampa, Arizona, and Arizona Hugs recently. The nonprofit had, for 3 years, hosted weekly picnics to provide meals and connect homeless people with services. Organizer Austin Davis had received permitting warnings from the city for more than a year before applying for a special event permit in November. The city denied that request, quote, blaming the reported violations, complaints from neighbors, and what they said was an uptick on trash and drug paraphernalia in Papago Park, the picnic's usual location. Davis told the Arizona Republic that drugs had never been a problem and that officials were eager to hide the unhoused population after raising a homeless camp. Similar situations have arisen in California, Georgia, and South Carolina. The city of Houston could not convict any of the 90 people that are charged with feeding homeless people without permission. This is a statement by lawyer Paul Kobash, who represents Houston-based Food Not Bombs volunteer Philip Piccone. Quote, it criminalizes the Samaritan for giving. In the United States, food insecurity increased from 10.2% in 2021 to 12.8% in 2022, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, meaning that 17 million households and 44.2 million people at some point that year could not afford enough food to eat. Families with children, as well as American Indian or Alaskan Native, Black, Hispanic, or multicultural people, were at higher risk. The Equal Justice Initiative reported the issue was directly correlated to the end of the child tax credit, which reduced household food insufficiency by 26% in other programs born of the coronavirus pandemic. Quote, the experience of the pandemic showed us that the government invests its meaningful support for families. We can make a positive impact on food security even during challenging economic times. No child should go hungry in America. The report is a stark reminder of the consequence of shrinking our proven safety net. It's been exacerbated by the rising food prices and the climate crisis, which is displacing people, killing crops, and destroying livelihoods per the World Food Program. Globally, areas of war and violence are home to 70% of hungry people. Community refrigerators and rival of ancestral farming practices and technological developments such as turning bones into edible paste that can be incorporated into fish and poultry are some means of helping to solve the food problem. So this is from an article that dates back to August 2nd of 2023. It states over the last 6 months, over 40 volunteers were cited, and the Houston chapter of Food Not Bombs now owes the city $23,500 in fines. 8 of these cases were dismissed by judges due to insufficient evidence because the charging HPD officer did not show up to court. A ruling that captured national headlines last week, while another volunteer was found not guilty by a jury after they ruled the ordinance was unconstitutional. However, the city of Houston has now indicated that they plan on refiling the cases that were dismissed without prejudice. Quote, the city of Houston intends on vigorously pursuing violations of its ordinance relating to feeding of the homeless. Arturo McNeely wrote in a statement, quote, it is a health and safety issue for the protection of Houston's residents. There have been complaints and incidences regarding the congregation of the homeless around the library, even during off hours. So just to give a little bit more validity, a little bit more proof to what it is that I'm referring to and talking about. And yes, I do know that people will still come through and be like, oh, this is a skit. This is a skit. This is set up too perfectly. How do we know that this is official? How do we know that people aren't in costume? How is the camera set up so perfectly for them to expect this to happen? It seems a little bit suspicious to me. Why is everything so anti-government? So again, for those people, believe what it is that you want to sit up there and believe. If you believe that The government is 100% for you and for the people. Be so stupid as to go down that road and to believe that. You, by all means, you are free to do that. But here are some videos to further explain what it is that I am talking about.
Can you tell me what happened in the last hour?
I'm sure. I was given this citation. What happened was we fed probably over 100 people that were hungry, and got a citation for feeding people that are hungry. We feed 4 days a week, 7:30 on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Sensational.
You're going to be cited for violating food services and an ordinance. You've served more than 6 people, or 6 or more. All right.
It's going to be 1400 loaded, court number 3, 66 law, on the 19th of December. Okay? And it's conducted food service and without this on the property. Yes. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Food Not Bombs, we just received ticket number 77 for serving the homeless in Houston for their feeding ordinance. We are here in the Central Library, and hopefully we can get a change to keep spreading the message and let people know what's happening here.
Another one.
All right, Mr. Like, you're going to be signing for conducting food service event. Sign in the box.
All right.
Thank you. Hold on 1 second. You put that other printer.
I mean, we can let it ride, right? We just forget about it.
Hold on 1 second.
Hey,
The other guys use the other printer. That's all.
maybe the universe is saying no tickets today. We can work it out, I'm sure.
Just give me a second. We'll be done.
Shucks.
Okay. 24, court number 3 at 9 p.m. at 1400 London.
All right.
Got any questions?
Nope.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, you too. How you doing? I'm John, a volunteer with Food Not Bombs. Just received our 96th ticket today. We also went to federal court today, and hopefully we'll get a ruling on that for them to cease and desist giving us tickets. If you want to volunteer with us at Food Not Bombs, we can use as many volunteers as possible. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Come here about 7:20 p.m. On the corner of Smith and McKinney.
You don't find that suspicious?
So again, this is the America that we have at this moment in time. This is the America that pretty much people just consistently keep going out there and voting for. This is the America that a lot of people on social media don't want to actually shine a light on and bring up a topic and specifically talk about. Because again, think about all of the podcasts that we got directly out here and how a lot of them are talking about trash. A lot of them are talking about nonsense. A lot of them are just talking about stuff that doesn't need to be talked about in the open. These things need to be left behind closed doors, or these things need to be left at the office, or these things need to be left at parties or other, gatherings that are in between them and their friends and their families. But yet all of these podcasts have been allowed to flourish and to make money because they are spewing garbage. 100% garbage. There is nothing realistically educational about a lot of, or I'm sorry, let me just put it to like 99.98% of the podcast that are directly out here. There is no learning channel with a lot of these podcasts. There is no TLC with a lot of these podcasts. There is no history type channel with a lot of these podcasts. They're just regurgitating the exact same things, the exact same wordplay, the exact same topics, the exact same personalities. That is it. But yet, we actually have real problems out here. Like people going out here and feeding the homeless. People going out there and helping other people. People going out there and representing other human beings and trying to do for other human beings what human beings should be doing. But yet, that's not the topic of conversation. These aren't the videos that get blown up and that get, hundreds of millions of views. No. Why? Because the society that we live in, the government that we have at this moment in time, and the media that runs everything does not want to put positivity out there showing people actually treating people. They want to deliver garbage. They want to deliver the most divisive type of content possible in order to keep certain narratives going, to keep people entranced so that they can make as much money as they can off of stupidity. That's it. It's literally that simple. There is nothing they can really get or make off of showing, positive videos. There's nothing in it for them. There's nothing in it. They can't make money from the left, the right, up or down. They can't really get anything from this. And then on top of that, because they got people so trained, so entranced, so programmed, when you happen to deliver videos like this to ordinary people that's been consuming garbage, they're going to look at this good type of media, this positive type of media, as garbage, while validating and saying that the negative media is the most enriching type of media that they can ever happen to receive. So like I said, this is where we are at this moment in time. This is what happens if everybody in every single state were to try to go out there and feed the homeless. The police would show up. In some instances, there's other videos out there where the police have literally put people in handcuffs. The police will still come through there and they will harass you for doing a good deed. Something that realistically the government and the city should be doing. But you see, they would rather not actually do their job. The city of Houston would rather not do their job versus have somebody else basically go out there and do it and show them up. And remember, they're working on your tax dollars. This is the government. I want people to realize this. This is the government telling you like, hey, yeah, we got your tax dollars. You pay us to actually do this job, but we're not going to do it. But we're going to make sure to stop you from doing the job that we're supposed to be doing because we don't want you doing it. We don't want you showing us up. So shout out to those people out there that believe that the government has their best interest or the best interest of the people at heart. Shout out and much love to you because you're the reason that the government is able to still do the things that they do, why it is that they still hold the power that they have at this moment in time, and why it is that they can make such encroaching decisions every single day whenever they pass laws, rules, and regulations, both in front and behind closed doors.